I don't know. Oh, apparently we're live. Well, there you go. That might have done it. I think we might be there. Who knows? Who can tell these things? I just want to see when it appears here, and then I will quickly edit this so that it sends out the right notification. Looking good.
There we be.
Looking promising. All right, let's quickly edit this. And then we will know that we are here. How about that? All right, I'm going to save that and finally go back here. Do that again. So hello everybody and welcome. Not to Elevensies because it's not 11 o'clock. No.
What's going on behind us?
What's going on? What's going on? Oh, goodness gracious me. Well, Erin says add me to the list and Gilda says can she get a card? So you guys are on time and with it 100% and cooking and all that fun stuff.
All right. So we've decided these tarot walls on the night that we're doing the free reading so people will have a clue.
Tarot.
All right, Mike.
In a wall.
You're number 3.
And John, John, if you want a card, please just ask for one.
Oh yeah, he usually does.
So let's just witter on a little bit while we're getting ourselves organised and people are joining us.
I'm making my list.
You'll make the list. So as always, well certainly as of what we did last time, we are working to make Celtica a reality, and so we would love shameless plug any donations that you feel like you might want to make. You can either go to Celtica.org and do it there, or you can send us a super chat on the Tube. You can
slap us with a super chat.
And it's kind of cool if you send us a super chat. We know you did that because the lights flash.
Ooh.
So there you go. And what we will say, we're going to aim to do maybe 40 or so readings. Pretty much that's all we can do until our heads fall off. But we will give precedence to those people that have donated. So if you send us a super chat, you're going to jump to the top of the list.
All right.
Well, behind everybody else who's done a super chat. So there you go.
I think we better get on it because
we're getting on it.
We're up to 6 people already.
Well, and Josanne K and Vittoria, I imagine, so as well. And, oh, this is great. I have to plug the phone in. Just bear with me a second because my phone's going to go flat if I don't. I'm going to have to run the idea and get a cable. And if the phone goes flat, we're screwed. So I should have done this. You can guarantee there's always something has to annoy the chuff out of everybody.
Okay.
I need a new phone. My battery's no good.
Now we're up to 9.
Look at this professionalism. I'll try not to destroy everything with the walls. There we go. Fortunately, I can just plug in on my computer and charge everything at the same time. So that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Oh, I see the wall moving. It's cute.
It was me. I did it. But I've got to spring for a new phone, or at least put a battery in this one or something, because my battery don't go no good no more.
All right, so I think we should start. I'm going to start with Erin.
All right.
And her question is a health question.
Health question.
Well, this is certainly abundance. So I'm going to say that this is a very positive card regarding health. And you see the 2 trees on this card are very similar to the ones on the Empress, which is about female health energy.
Hell, that'll do.
This is the 9 of Pentacles. So I think it's especially positive if it is related to female health. But I would say absolutely some information is coming that might have been slow coming, like maybe you didn't get a diagnosis as quickly as you wanted, or you didn't find the right doctor as quickly as you wanted. But now I think you're going to find that you're on the right track and that things are going to be healing quite soon.
That's perfect. And she actually said, by the way, what do I have to look forward to? Well, I think that answers it, really. It's all good.
So that's it.
So we've got Josanne there. She's asking
Josanne,
for a card.
Victoria.
Yep.
Lavina, Shauna, Maria. We've got a whole bunch already.
Who we got next? Who's
You've
next?
got Gilda.
Jill's just asking for a question.
Card? Okay.
We'll see what comes out for you, Gilda. Ooh, I like this. So whenever I pull a card like this, which has got the 3, this is my own little thing. You know, we were talking this morning. Page of Wands. We were talking this morning about having your own unique code book. Well, there are 3 cards in the deck that have 3 pyramids on it. They're all the court cards of the wands, but Whenever I get that, that really indicates to me that we're talking about an old soul here. So, Gilda, I think the message for you here is to rely on some of the innate wisdom that you're so good at ignoring. You know stuff, and you know stuff. You're an old soul. You don't need me to tell you that. You need to just go back to reconnecting with your innate wisdom and allowing your intuition to speak to you. And I think this is going to be a real period of I don't know, I see like a new creative phase, that you're moving into a very abundant and creative phase, and just allow yourself
calling on your experience, that feather in your cap.
Allow yourself to ponder the stuff, allow yourself to wander off, give yourself the luxury of wandering off down those rabbit holes or tangents, to really do this, because I think there's so much for you that is just bordering on your periphery right now that you could just grab hold of and just go with it. And I think there's so much. So I almost want to say to you very cheekily, so what do you want to do when you grow up, eh? Hey, what do you want to do? I know you sort of focused on raising a young family and all that sort of stuff, but I really do feel that this card speaks volumes about you, and you needing to get, back in touch with your innate wisdom. Stop second guessing yourself and just really think about what makes you happy, and just pursue that. Because I think it's a really good time brewing for you right now.
All right, so
I'm sorry.
We're already up to 16 people. I've gotten Diana D, Jessica, Sabrina, Sonia, and Joyce.
Oh, I'm glad you're keeping track of that.
We do have everybody on a list. Don't worry, and we'll just do them in order, unless of course you're on YouTube and super chat us.
You super chat, you're going to jump to the front of the queue. That's basically the long and the short.
I'd also like to say that. We always start by saying whoever shows up is part of the group mind for whatever's coming from spirit for the evening. So even if, yes, I did, Felicia, even if you don't get your specific question answered, because, we've only been going like 6 minutes and we're at number 16.
17.
Listen to what... All right, I'm going to say my sentence, and then you can talk to me.
Sorry.
Listen to what everybody's answers are, because whoever shows up is meant to be here. It's kind of a group mind effect. So the messages that are coming through from Spirit for other people may also be very inspirational or apply to you. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. As Lisa says, there is this almost like over zeitgeist or vibe to the whole evening. We find this, and so do pay attention to other things, even if it's not your specific card.
All right, so this is Mike for a legal matter.
All right.
Well, the Fool. So Mike, I think that sometimes we feel very pressured and very stuck, and it makes it really hard for us to keep the faith. So again, I feel like there's something that's been going round and round and round, and now there is this opportunity to step forward. I think you are protected, and things are going to turn out way better than you may have expected in the past. And now I want you to expect greatness, and I want you to have that faith. Okay, yep, Robert. I'll put Robert
Perfect.
on the list.
Who we got?
You are up for John.
Hello, John. All right. What we got? Oh, I love this card. You got the 3 of Wands, John. So, John, this actually is a card about needing to gain a higher perspective. Now, sometimes this may be simply taking the higher road, especially if people are kind of goading you and getting on your back teeth, so to speak. It's necessary to take a higher perspective. When others go low, go high. But I think also this card indicates to me very much about attaining a greater perspective. This is my card. When you're up to alligators, it's hard to remember your objective was to drain the swamp. Sometimes we get too close to things. Sometimes we get too involved in the minutiae of the problem. And this very much is about, getting the perspective, getting yourself above and beyond. It's the 3 of Wands. Getting above and beyond so you can actually see a clear perspective. And there's a wonderful triplicity within here. And I've noticed, leaving the sash aside, the guy on the card is wearing 3 colours. He has 3 wands, and there are 3 ships in front of him come sailing in. So this is actually a very auspicious card, providing you're able to like lift yourself above and not get stuck in the quagmire or too close to what it is you're dealing with. This very much is, you know, seeing your ships come sailing in, but you've got to have the perspective to do that. But it's a great card, John. It really is. So good. More power to your elbow, basically, is the long and the short of it.
So I've got Robert, Jean, and 7, and I did get Pallavi and Iceman over there.
And we've got another one on here as well.
Who's that? Say
Sidhant, I don't know, or Sidhant if you're Welsh. So I don't know.
Okay, I am up to Felicia.
Hello,
and yes,
Felicia,
the cats are all about. Mia is on the floor between my legs. And you've never seen Mia because she's old and respectable and wouldn't get on the table.
Except.
And Skittle is within reach, but she's not feeling cuddly apparently right now.
No,
so
she'd like to
Felicia.
trash everything.
Felicia, 2 of coins, 2 of pentacles. I want to say that you can multitask. Sometimes we think we can't. We think I can't possibly pay attention to more than one thing. I can only focus on one thing. And it's true that you can't do everything all at once, but you can get your thoughts organized and you can kind of keep one thing in your peripheral vision while you're focused on the other thing. And then you can keep that in your peripheral vision while you focus back on the other thing. So I do see you accomplishing way more than you thought you could over these next couple of weeks before the Mercury retrograde.
How about that? You poke your head over here and look, who have I got? Because we'll keep going.
You're Savannah, who's looking for a message.
All right, and no particular area. Savannah, you've got the 7 of Swords. It's interesting that this card can indicate a little bit of a need to really focus about what's going on around your periphery. I mean, if you think about what's going on here, we've got the army at camp and the Brigadier General giving his orders group. We know tomorrow, men, we're going to do this amazing pincer movement and catch the enemy with their pants down, whereas this little urchin's nicking all the swords. So come tomorrow morning, the army's not really going to be a particularly effective fighting force. They're going to be like, oh, we'll just shout and say you're very naughty and all that sort of stuff. So really just pay attention to you know, Lisa always says, your life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Do not let somebody steal your thunder. Do not let the opportunity be pulled away from you by your focus being somewhere it really shouldn't. You've got to keep your eye on the whole picture and make sure that you do what's necessary and you cover all of the bases. Yeah, it isn't a terrible card, but it does indicate the need to be particularly vigilant, especially where somebody else is, you know, maybe a co-worker or something. You know, somebody's stealing your thunder or claiming that was their idea or whatever. Just be mindful and just basically, you know, keep a close eye on things and pay attention to the details. The devil's in the detail.
And I don't know why. I just want to add, pay more attention to your crown chakra. There's something going on.
Ooh, yes, well, there you go.
So there you go.
Marvellous. Let me stuff that away there. And Lisa's going to catch up with everything. Because we've got a whole load of things.
All right,
so eventually, while you're going, eventually we're going to run out of spare places. So again, understand being shameless about this. We're trying to raise money for our charity Celtica. It's not for us. If you feel that way inclined and you want to jump the queue, just go ahead and throw us a super chat. Whatever it doesn't matter. However little or as much as you feel like throwing us, it all goes to a wonderful cause.
All right. So this is for Josanne K.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she asked a question. She just said, how you guys doing? So.
Yeah, you just asked for a card, I think. So.
All right. So, Josanne, this is a time for celebration. I think that there is going to be some really, really good news coming.
I knew that was a
Three of Cups, yep.
I just knew it was.
I think there's going to be some really, really good news coming that you've been waiting for. And I feel like it is in regards to being paid for something.
How cool is that?
And so if you were waiting for a raise or whatever, like connected to money, it's going to be coming very soon.
How awesome.
All right. Pam, yes, I can add you to the list. And also Amber.
Pallavi, you're on the list. You're on the list.
But you've got a ways to go because we're only up to Victoria.
Question for Victoria?
She's on your list.
I don't think. I think she just said hello and a smiley face. So I don't think she's got a particular question. So let's just see what we can tell you. Oh, the lovers, baby. So this is an interesting card. Oh, hang on, I scrolled too far. So yeah, this is an interesting card. I don't know why, but I feel this is very much to do with, obviously it's to do with partnerships, or it doesn't necessarily have to be. But I do think this is something to do with your sense of curiosity being piqued right now. I'm gonna go left field and go with what I'm actually feeling. And so you see this where the old snakes crept up the tree, so to speak, and gone, "Oi, Eve, have a bite of the apple, have a bite of the apple." So you munch the apple and you suddenly realise, hang on a minute, we're all stark naked here, what's going on? And here's the other half going, "Oh, what do you want to go and do that for? Now he's all upset at us and look, he set me tree on fire," and all that sort of stuff. So not really. I think it's like you need to know stuff, and you've got this innate sense of curiosity and need to know how stuff works. And I think you're going through a phase of tremendous personal growth at the moment. And it's almost like what you're seeking is making you seek. And unfortunately, I think this isn't necessarily reciprocated in the other side of your relationship right now. So I don't know what good advice I can necessarily go with you, but don't bring yourself down to somebody else's level. Pursue your curiosity, your dreams, your need to know, your voyage of personal self-discovery, because it's important you continue to grow. That would be my 2 cents. I could spend an hour on you, but I'm not going to because I haven't got the time and I'll get shouted at. I'm sorry.
You have to speak.
I'm trying to do my best. I am. I've got plenty to drink tonight, so my voice doesn't give out on me.
What's going on here?
Who knows? You're scrolling.
Right, I'm trying to figure out where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is Robert.
And that's you. You got Robert.
Well, you've also got a Robert, too. And Melanie, I got you. So you're all good. And Amber, I've got you. All right, so this is Robert.
All right.
I have Skittle now.
Skittle is not helping.
4 of Swords. Robert, you need to take time to breathe. Right? It's when everything is hurry up, get it done yesterday, sometimes it's really hard to get the rest that you need. And I always tell people, he's not dead, he's meditating. So I would suggest if you really want to have the energy that you need to face the things you need to face, getting rest and recuperating is really important.
Bloody vital, mate.
So maybe do some guided meditation work or some breathing exercises or yoga or whatever it is that you can do to rejuvenate yourself. Okay. No, Shayna, I got you. You're coming up.
If you knock that over, I'm going to have a word with you.
All right, you're up with Livia.
So hopefully the wall will not collapse behind us, but it's being adjusted by one of our lovely 4-legged fur babies right now. So question by then. Olivia has a question.
Livia, Livia.
Probably short for Olivia, but what do I know?
I don't know.
No question?
She's on your list.
She is?
I think so. Way back.
Way back?
We're like a long time ago, right?
Didn't recognise the name.
Oh, I'll look on here then.
Didn't recognise the name. I'm just going to say, whatever goes, I'm just going to watch Rion. So we got old Fish Boy, which is my Piscean card.
Oh, no, she's on my list. She doesn't have a question.
All right.
Okay.
So this is quite interesting. I mean, not necessarily that you are perhaps a Pisces, but I think there's a bit of drama going on right now. And I think that's the... Pisces are undoubtedly the most creative sign in the zodiac, but their receptors kind of go to 11. You know, nobody loves more deeply, nobody can be hurt more deeply. It's like everything can be so damn dramatic sometimes, and they have this propensity, I guess, to is it Palivy? Is that the person we're talking about? Okay,
no, Livia G. She's on my list.
All right, she's on your list. So sometimes you can get caught up in a drama that doesn't necessarily belong to you. And I think maybe that's what's happening here. And, you know, you just got to distance yourself from that, because it doesn't make you a recluse, it doesn't make you a cold person, but sometimes to actually pull yourself away from the madding crowd is essential for your sense of well-being and mental health even. You can be driven quietly insane by other people's dramas, especially if they are incessant with it. If there's just, whether it be a partner, a co-worker or whatever, if somebody's right close to you and all they've got is this perpetuated drama that's going on all the time, it's going to drive you slightly loopy. So sometimes you've got to take a little time for yourself and just woosah, and escape from that. Don't subscribe to it. You really don't. But there are good things with the creativity. So yeah, there's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other,
All right, Shayna, I got you.
There you go. Michelle would like a free general. We can do you a brigadier. We're out of generals. I'm sorry. But ching.
Shayna, the High Priestess. I feel like since we're coming into this time of year that is very connected to other, things are going into their seed stage, which is their spiritual stage. And people kind of tend to go within at this time as well. And we know that the veil, you see the veil of pomegranates behind her, that the veil is getting very thin between here and other. And I feel like for you, there's a very, very strong connection happening with someone who is in other or across the veil, and that you are going to get some very deep and meaningful messages or signs that you might think you're going a little crazy, but you're not. Like somebody says something that sounds like that person was saying it, or you hear a song that was that person's favorite song. So just be open and don't be frightened. And don't let it be a sad thing. Let it be your joy.
Oh, no, yes. Okay. Honor our ancestors. Without them, we wouldn't be, would we? Who we got now? And there's a couple more for you to catch up on here.
All right, so now you have Maria, and I'm just looking back.
All right.
She just asked for a card in general.
All right, well, let's have a look and see what we can find. Maria. All right, so Maria, I think you're getting all the wrong kind of exercise at this present moment in time, jumping to conclusions, flying off the anvil, casting aspersions, etc., etc. This shows a huge amount of pent-up angst bordering on absolute anger. So there's good with this, if you can channel those Martian energies, you can certainly use this to very quickly cut through the crap. However, if it becomes internally directed, if it becomes like frustration, where you're just like your anger becomes directed inwards, or it just magnifies into anger, it can be hugely, hugely destructive. So what you want to do here, I sense it's more frustration with you. I think it feels like, you desperately want to affect a change, but it's almost like everything you do, it's almost like unstoppable force hits immovable object, that you find your way blocked, and there's a lot of frustration there. Well, you're not necessarily having to be so blocked. You could just simply step to the side a little bit, or find an alternate route, or sometimes leave it be for the time being. Put your mind somewhere else, get focused on something else, deal with that, and then come back to that when the opportunity is more apt and appropriate. But I think there's a right now you need to lower.
You're on the list.
You need to lower that angst and frustration level within your life, and woo-saw. Take it easy, chill out a bit, cool your jets, as Lisa would say. It's not serving you. Yeah, it's not serving you. Once you start to get traction, once your wheels aren't spinning in the sand anymore, you're going to feel like things are moving forwards, and you won't be so frustrated. But you've got to learn how to channel this frustration without allowing it to be directed back in on yourself. And it's when you get mad, you're the only one who suffers. You really are.
All right, this is for Diana D, and she wants to know about love life.
Yes.
Ah.
We got a load of people throwing questions out here now. Load of people.
I think I'm
well,
caught
it's
up with
okay.
everything.
You carry on, you'll catch up.
So, Diana, the 4 of Cups.
Oh, hello. Somebody sent us a super chat. Thank you, 7.
All right,
Yay.
so 7 will jump the queue. All right. 4 of Cups for Diana D. Or Diane D, sorry.
Sparky sent us a super chat.
I didn't miss you, Amber.
Yay.
We're already up to 31 people, so you just have to understand that there's a bunch of people on the list. I didn't miss anybody so far, and I will write you on the list too, Tracy.
Sparky's
Sparky's on the list.
Yeah, and she sent a super chat.
Oh, so she's okay. All right. Let me get to Diane's.
All right, we'll get
reading.
to Diane's. We started, so we'll finish.
All right, Diane. No, Livia, you did miss your reading. You were 2 back, so you can scroll back. You did miss your reading.
It's a wonderful thing. You can scroll backwards.
This card is very similar to the Hanged Man. I know that sounds crazy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if you look at the 2 of them together, you'll see the tree is very similar and the guy is dressed very similar, except that his head is no longer lit up. Okay. So I understand that this is regarding a desire. You would love to find someone to be your partner. But I think at this point, you might be overthinking it. Now, I'm not saying that you have to lower your standards. It's great to have an idea of the type of person you're looking for. You know, like if you're a type A personality, you want somebody who's a go-getter, not somebody who's lazy. You know, you want somebody who can be a good partner.
Don't set fire to the card.
But I think that you might be talking yourself out of meeting somebody because you might think they don't measure up.
Don't check
all right.
all the boxes.
So I know that sounds confusing. I'm saying don't lower your standards. I think you have to give people a chance because they may not know how to express themselves or they may not be coming across or making the best first impression. So don't lower your standards, but try to be a little more open about meeting people. All right.
Sage advice there.
All right. So, yes, Sanda, I will put you on the list. 7 is next because 7
I don't think
gave
she has a question. She gave us a super chat, but let's...
Well, 7 is way back.
Yeah, I saw she said hello.
Hello, yep.
7, who knows? 7, however you identify. I said she, but it could be he, could be however.
7 is from Seinfeld.
Really? There may be some truth in that. I don't know.
All right, so this is
5
for
of
7.
9. Oh, and look, you've got a 7 as well. This is the second time this card has come out tonight.
Well, again, there's a group mind thing going on.
There's a group mind thing. This is be mindful that somebody else doesn't steal your thunder, particularly, all right? As I said before with this card, we've got the army at camp, we've got the plan to do the wonderful attack in the morning, but what's going on here is this urchin is stealing all the swords. So the army loses the ability to be an effective fighting force. Same with you, okay? What are you allowing to be taken away from you at this moment in time? 7, yes it is, she says, lol. She, he, they. They say. They say. So just be mindful what somebody is perhaps taking away from you while your attention is elsewhere. Where you're focused on doing something else, maybe you want to be focused a little closer to what's necessary, putting the basics in light. You know, have you got all your ducks in a row, or have they all wandered off down the pub or whatever, or in the back of a police car? Who knows where the ducks are? But this is about really being in control. Also understand, plans are great, but no plan survives contact with the enemy as well. So be prepared to rework your plan. And don't just stick blindly on with something, or set the controls to the heart of the sun now, so Oh, she's saying she. So 7, you're a she. Great, perfect. All right. So just be mindful not to let your energies get sapped away, focused on something when something else is happening just off to the periphery, which you need to be paying attention to. So this really is quite important, especially where somebody would, steal something away from you, whether it's your time, whether it's your proper recognition for actually doing the job, whether it's somebody else who gets the pay rise instead of you because they basically claim to be the one who did all this kind of stuff. So just be mindful of that, okay? And be perhaps not a little less of a, what's the word I want to say? I don't want to say shrinking violet because I don't think that really sums you up, but be a little more assertive. I don't mean be super, super arrogant, but just be a little more assertive. And I think...
Boundaries.
Yes. Here is the line. Thou shalt not cross. Be a little assertive, draw your line in the sand if necessary and reclaim your sovereignty.
All
I
right.
think that's hugely
So
important.
this is for Sparky.
Okay. Libra's feelings towards me is her question.
Libra's feelings towards me.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Okay.
No,
Unless the Libra's a surgeon.
No, what I think this is telling us that the Libra person
What are you doing?
is very depressed
Oh, no.
and not in a space. Skittles in the
Skittles
grocery bag.
in the grocery bag. This is far more entertaining than us.
The
if you
person
watch
is very depressed and not in a place to really give energy to anyone else.
Oh, dear.
So if you haven't been feeling anything coming from them, that they're not calling you back or that they're not, holding a conversation or anything like that, I don't think it's meant to be like a personal thing or a rejection. I think they're in a bad space. I sense a feeling of loss around them that is just kind of brain fogged them.
Grating heavily on them, weighing heavily.
I can't really tell you how they feel about you. I can only tell you how they feel. And to me, they feel sad and uncomfortable. So I don't know how well you know them, but just offering to hold space and inspire them in some way, heal them in some way is probably the best way forward there.
That's the trouble with Librans, aren't they? They too tend to weigh things up so much and get,
this Libra's getting long.
quite conflicted sometimes.
Okay.
And difficult. They want to please everybody and they forget about, caring for themselves.
Jessica.
Hello, Jessica. Any question for Jessica?
I'm looking back.
We're looking back. I'm just going to find a card anyway. Just in
looking
case. You're going to get the card you're going to get.
Just a card, please.
You got it. You
All
got
right.
the devil. Most malign card in the deck. They'll see this and they go, and it's all about fear, which is interesting because the devil does very much speak to fear and perhaps sometimes unfounded fears and irrational fears. But this fellow is strangely maligned. It's interesting that he holds above, is as above, so below, just like the magician. Here's another one. He's got the pentagram above his head. Notice it's inverted, indicating spirit coming into physical form. And he represents the lightning flash down the Kabbalah, if you will. That. And this little blessing here, this is, the sanctity of the human womb, which gives form to force, if you will. And so, we become imprisoned, the exalted prisoner, if you will. And that's what this hex is about. This is cube. I know it's difficult to tell just here. But all that aside, it's like sometimes we get chained by our fears. And you notice that these two people, these are actually the same two people that are on the Lover's card. But in this instance, they've got these like chains around their neck. But you can see it's quite easy. They could simply lift that chain over their heads and walk away should they want to. But they're not. They're chained by their fears. They're too reluctant to even try and do anything about that. So I think what this is really is indicating a need to reevaluate your relationship with fear, if you will. Because I think sometimes you get so hung up, if you will, with or what if I screw this up? What if somebody, it's like this bloody glass ceiling. It doesn't matter, does it? What matters is that you actually at least try. And if you try and fail, don't think of it as a failure. It's like, oh, that didn't work out, but I found a way. I found something that doesn't work there. Maybe if I try it this way. And it's how we learn. It's how we learn. So just be mindful and try to reevaluate your relationship with your fears. I think they're playing too big a part in your life, is the long and the short. All right.
Pallavi, 4 more are ahead of you, provided nobody super chats.
Yep, somebody super chats, they're going to go in front of you.
And
that's the way it
Felicia
goes.
says, one of my crushes is on a Libra, and he's actually kind of acting like that. There you
Well,
go.
they're having
All
a
right.
rough time astrologically right now. The Librans really are, aren't they?
So,
They definitely
Sabrina, who wants to know about her weight loss.
Oh, hello.
All right.
Hey.
So, the Chariot card. Sabrina, I want to say that one of the things people always talk about with weight loss, they say, oh, well, diet and exercise. So you have to go on this really strict diet and you have to make sure that you have an exercise regime. And they give you all this whole list of things. But what it really is mindset and a lifestyle change, right? So
That's true.
if you were eating late at night when you got home from work because you were so busy all day and you eat this big meal and you go to bed, your routine has to change. Your relationship with food has to change. Your thoughts about the nutrition, like not just eating something because you're starving or eating something because it's going to expire. It's a lifestyle change. And it really is, this card is the card of self-control, or like driving your own life. And I know that may not really make sense to you to say a lifestyle change, but that's what it really is. It's about how you're feeling, what's going on around you, when you're eating, what you're eating, how you're receiving that food. And one of the things I talk about when I do chakra crystal class, I talk about becoming connected to the food. Are you eating what's in season? Are you eating Ayurvedically? Are you eating a balanced diet? It's about your relationship and changing your relationship to the food. And I'm going to say this is a very positive card, so I think you're going to understand and you're going to take control over the situation. So I do see success.
Definitely positive card. Definitely.
Subliminals?
Oh, I don't know. There's a subliminal message there. So light, so subtle, so gruesome.
I would say that there's nothing really subliminal about what we're doing. We're being pretty upfront and out with it.
I think
but
so.
We will say again that whoever is listening is connected to the group mind or the information that's coming from spirit tonight. So next is Sonia.
Hello, Sonia.
Who wants to know what her future holds.
All right, let's have a look-see. Sonia, Queen of Swords. Not bad, but you've got to watch out the mixed signals you're putting out there. I think your biggest issue at the moment is trust. And I think trust is one of those things that inherently you have to pay forwards. If you're not prepared to pay trust forwards, to put it out first, you're going to be in a position where, oh, hang on a minute, they don't trust me. How can I possibly trust them? And you wind up in a Mexican standoff from the get-go, which is not what you want to be. So be mindful of the signals that you're putting out. It's the Queen of Swords.
No, I'm looking at the
All
list.
right. Come here, go away. Come here, go away. Come here, go away. So understand the need to preserve boundaries. Yes, completely respect that. And when somebody starts to abuse that position of trust, that's the point to draw the line, if you will. However, I think sometimes you're a little quick to get onto the back foot and almost anticipate a threat where one doesn't necessarily exist. So if you can be mindful of this and a little more embracing, a little more, it's okay to build a bloody great big brick wall around yourself. I get it. It keeps the bad crap out, but it also keeps the good crap out, which is not what you want. You want the good stuff. You want to keep the bad crap out. So yeah, speak softly, carry a big stick, or in this instance, a damn good sword, And swords discern and divide and can separate truth from fiction. So just be aware of that and trust in yourself a little more, and that you're not going to, cock it up or whatever. And I think you'll do an awful lot better.
So the future holds discernment.
Discernment. Work on your discernment. That would be the word. And trust issues. I think you've got deep-seated trust issues. But I get that, I get it. I understand. It's all right.
All right.
Just got to work on it. Who we got now?
I have Joyce.
Hello, Joyce.
And I don't know whose list she's on and if she asked a question.
I don't remember seeing a Joyce, but I can scroll back and have a look. Gosh, we've got a lot of people.
Joyce, just a card.
Okay. So while Lisa's just finding a card for you, I just will say, guys, if you're watching us, we are doing this. Yes, we're doing this for free, and we're going to try and get to about 40 readings or so tonight. But we are also working very hard to make Celtica a reality. So if you can find it in your heart to chuck us a couple of bucks, we would appreciate that. Either go to Celtica.org, make a donation, or do us a super chat on on YouTube. And if you do a super chat, we'll push you to the top of the list as well. So that's kind of cool. But anyway,
all right,
Joyce
is new here. Well, Joyce, you can ask a specific question if you want. If not, I'm just going to read this card that I pulled for you as it is.
I think just go for it, because
all right,
there may be a little delay there.
The Judgment card. So I feel that this means you are going to be receiving some real strength and peace of mind, that things are coming into a balance. If you had felt uncomfortable in your living arrangements, or you have felt like you just didn't feel safe and secure, there's some really good positive stuff coming regarding feeling grounded, feeling focused, feeling organized, and feeling like you belong. If you had recently changed jobs and you didn't feel secure there, there's a sense of belonging to this new group of people, or like finding your niche, or the things that you need to feel comfortable with in order to be successful. So I feel like there's a sense of safety, a sense of renewal, a sense of belonging, and that really kind of gives you, peace of mind or stability. So there's something going on to just help you with your sense of stability. All right. Now you have Pallavi.
And I don't know if Pallavi's got necessarily a question, did she?
No.
My question went, what comes next in love for me?
Oh, love.
There you go. That's where we're going then. Second time.
Right, this is a different person.
Different person, second time. Again, mixed signals. I think for you, trust is extraordinarily difficult. Fully appreciate, perhaps you've been through the mill. Perhaps somebody's made promises to you that have not really come to being. And, you don't want to get hurt. I understand that totally. But mixed signals can be very difficult and very bewildering for somebody who may be coming into this completely innocently. It's almost like they're being blamed for the sins of their forebears, if you will. This particular suitor, for argument's sake, may not be the cause of your distrust, but yet they're bearing the consequences of it. So it's a kind of difficult one. This is very much the Queen of Swords about, yes, be very much in charge of your own sovereignty. Yes, be very much, that figure of authority and draw the line in the sand where necessary. But just be mindful that initially you may be throwing out mixed signals, which frankly can do somebody's head in from the get-go. Ooh, what do they think? Hang on a minute, they're saying come here, and now they're shoving me to the side. I'm not sure. So just be truly mindful of that, what you are putting out. And yeah, I mean, you don't immediately have to drop your entire guard. Don't get me wrong, especially if it's somebody new and you're finding the way with them. But trust is something you have to pay forwards. You have to put it forwards. Otherwise, you're in this like Mexican standoff, as I say, from the get-go, where, oh, they don't trust me. How can I possibly trust them? And this can be an issue, that lack of trust, it can destroy a relationship before it gets going. So really just be mindful of that, okay? That would be my take on your love life. All righty?
All right. I have Iceman who did
Hello,
not ask
Iceman.
a question.
Iceman. That sounds cool. I just
You can
realised what I said.
You can just scroll back, I think, Joyce. I don't know. But your card was
I can't remember.
Judgment. Okay.
Was it? I can't remember. It might have been
Iceman.
before that. I don't know.
Iceman. A big purchase is being made.
Hey.
Like you finally can afford something you really wanted. I don't know if it's a home or a car or whatever it is, but I feel like there's prosperity and money for you to acquire something you've really been focused on or saving for or trying to get. So big move forward this fall, big reward, like a feeling of finally getting somewhere. Accomplishment is the word I want to say. So very positive card. Don't doubt it. Go with it.
Go with it.
All right. Jean M.
We might be about to get a bit of weather. Hopefully,
Yeah, people are saying they're dropping in and out. And
I'm
Pam
sorry.
said
I'm
her
hoping
chimes are going.
the internet stays up. Hopefully it doesn't become a problem. If it does, we apologise profusely. We have nothing to do with it.
Jean.
Hello, Jean. Any question for Jean?
I don't think so.
All right, let's see what we get for Jean. Jean, we got the Knight of Swords. Second time this has come up. We've seen a bit of swords tonight.
So, yeah, a lot
if
of
there were a theme, a suit that comes to the fore, it's definitely been swords tonight. So this swords, as you know, they can be good, they can be bad, but they can also be indicative of struggle. This for me, this Knight of Swords can, depending on what you do with it, it can enable you to cut through the crap. But it can also enable you that you're just raging out of control because you're not moving forward at the rate that you want to be moving forward, and that you've hit this frustration, and it's manifesting itself as a lot of internal anger or what's the word where you repress anger? Resentment, yeah? So there may be resentment quietly boiling away under the surface, and you might be, seething. And if we were to look closely, you maybe see a bit of steam coming out your ears and stuff. So Wusar here, I think really what's necessary for you is to move you into a clearer headspace, a calmer space, and allow yourself to, she's laughing at me.
No, I'm laughing because Melanie said, "Oh, swords, my wheelhouse."
Well, okay then, let's juggle the swords. No, so just find yourself that piece of calm, certainly, yes, it's important to have boundaries and lines and that sort of stuff, but it's also important not to go seeking a fight, not to be looking to see all the the angst and strum, as it were, that's floating around. There's a lot right now. There's a lot of vitriol spewed all over the place. There's a lot of pointing of fingers and accusations and all that sort of stuff. And at the end of the day, it doesn't solve a damn thing. Agreement fixes things. Resolution of opposition, resolution of conflict is what fixes things. And war doesn't decide who's right, just merely who's left. So just try to find a place of peace and power in your life. And I say that seriously, peace and power. If you've been pulled into that place of frustration and resentment and borderline anger, this is not a good space to be. You are not being effective at this point, all right?
All right, so Sanda, you have 10 more people ahead of you. I did get you Sue.
Mm-hmm.
And Venetia is about to move. Okay.
All right.
So now this is for Sid.
Hello, Sid.
Sid has been waiting, and first Sid said, I want a health card. And then when I scrolled further, Sid said, I want to know if my life has a purpose.
Well, you know.
So I'm going to pull this card.
Big purpose.
All right.
Hey, not bad, actually.
The Seven of Pentacles is about having patience and paying attention. So health-wise, try not to be too hard on yourself. I think that you can attain a healthy lifestyle and that you can get where you want to be as far as energy level and feeling well again and moving forward. What do I see as your life purpose? I think you have the energy of a teacher. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are
an educator,
and someone who teaches children or has a specific teaching career, but I think you are here to enlighten others. And part of the Emerald Tablet is, as you learn, teach. Mm-hmm. So I think the things that you're going to find out about getting healthier, the things that you're finding out about your spirituality, I think that your purpose is to share that information and teach others and allow them to come forward.
It's a good thing, it's a great way to learn a subject, is actually tell it. If you're trying to learn a story, tell it to somebody, even if it's your cat, But yeah, I think that's wonderful.
All right. Nessa wants to know if she's made the right choice with college.
All right, Nessa, let's have a look. Ooh. Yeah, well, you're thinking about whether there's something bugging you still. This is a cracking card. Was this our card of the day today? It was, wasn't it? Two of Wands? I think it was. The Two of Wands, I believe, was our card of the day. So, yeah. So it's interesting. There's a lot of potential here, but there's this still thing, eating at you, an unresolved issue in the past that, you've got the whole damn world in your hands. It's up to you where you go with this. But we're still looking out to see that we've got this internal disquiet. And I think that, Nessa, if you'll forgive me, you're perpetually second-guessing yourself. I think this is your raison d'etre, is that the word I'm looking? Not reason for being. It's your MO, your modus operandi. This is kind of what you do. Listen, it doesn't matter what you actually applied yourself to. If you really, really want to do it, you will do it exceptionally well. There's nothing wrong with your work ethic. There's nothing wrong with the way that you can organize things. This person is doing very well. I mean, they're up on the ramparts of a beautiful Italianate villa. They look like they want for nothing, but they've still got something up in the air. One's down and grounded, but we still got this up in the air, and we still got this disquiet. So I think what really will help you is to maybe take a bit of time to understand what's truly important to you. And that may involve a little bit of soul searching, maybe even a bit of shadow work. What is it that you're holding on to? It's I believe it's some appreciable time ago. This is not a recent event. This is something you're holding on to still that is affecting your ease of progress forward. Because I think whatever it is, you always wind up asking yourself, have I done the right thing?
I want to know if it's language, if it's something to do with learning or teaching another language, because I think you're going to discover an awful lot about what you already know while you're learning.
I think Nessa is the propensity to fall down the toilet and come up smelling of roses. So I don't think you need to be too worked up about, have I made the right decision? I think you want to maybe get to is, why do I constantly ask myself, have I made the right decision? You know what I mean? Hey, listen, and in the words of the great prophet Led Zeppelin, there may be two paths you can go by, but you can always change the road you're on. Okay. You can always do that.
All right, so yes.
It's not set in stone.
Venetia Murray, you put in for a card quite a while ago. Yes, we can see you. And now, please tell me if I see you moving before November. It's interesting because I feel like you have to move, but you absolutely don't want
Yeah.
to.
I think this is not something you're choosing to do.
That you're kind of putting your feet down and trying to stay where you are rather than move. So, I think that I want to tell you, take a deep breath, stop worrying, and find a place that you'd really love and allow yourself, if you really have to move, allow yourself to mentally and physically let go of where you are. Like you are not stuck there. And if you really have to move, even if you don't want to, part of that process is going to be allowing yourself to let go of where you are. So I think there is a really wonderful place for you to go that will allow you to feel comfortable, that you can afford. But I think you have to change that mindset about going. All right. Pam, love life.
All right, Pam. Let's have a look, see what we can tell. We should plug the super chat. Hey, doing all right, getting good grades. My future's that bright, I got to wear shades. It's really interesting because this is a card that mirrors itself across the wheel. To me, this represents the vernal equinox, the greening time. We're at 0 degrees Aries in terms of timing. However, the character on here is Mabon ap Modron, the divine child of the divine mother, seated on the horse here. Interesting. Who was stolen between his mother and the war when he was but 3 nights old? We'll go into that another day. However, this really does indicate almost
Skittles'
like a
tail keeps going over.
Well, she does that all the time. This really does indicate almost like a kind of a recapture of an exciting time of innocence and discovery, which I think is kind of cool. So I want to say, if you truly are open to a wonderful, fulfilling relationship, be careful not to drag the past to the present, okay? The wall is behind you. It's behind you. You do not need to turn around and start gawping at that wall again, okay? Move forwards, let the banner unfurl, feel the warmth of the sun on your bones, and embrace the incredible joy and joie de vie, I'm going to say, is that the absolute joy of living and life and all that fun and incredible stuff. And, maybe take up horse jumping as well. I don't know. I just feel that might suit you.
All right.
Equestrian sports.
All right, Amber. Amber, it's your turn.
Yay!
I hope you're back from tending the children.
Well, if you're not, you'll have to scroll back.
5 of Pentacles.
Oh, hello.
All right. 5s are all about restricting something, right? Like difficulties. And the 5 of Cups is a restricting or a suppressing emotions. So I think that you've been really busy putting so much energy into your children that you haven't really had much time to spend on yourself.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe you could, our signal is getting wonky. I see it jumping in and out. Maybe you could, maybe you could find someone to watch the kids for just a couple hours once a week, where you could go and get, a pedicure, or just read a book, or do something so that you don't end up feeling resentful that you have no you time. All right.
Don't lose yourself in others.
Next is Melanie.
Hello, Melanie.
She would like a card.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, Melanie.
Oh, come on.
All right, you got the third third bloody time. Well, you say swords are your wheelhouse, kid. So there you go. You know what to do with this one. I think I've done this one until we're blue in the face. There's obviously a theme. There's a lot of angst and frustration going on at the moment.
There's a lot of pressure, a lot of retrograde planets, all the outer planets, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto. We're coming for Mercury retrograde. We're in the shadow of that. There's just so much stress.
If I had to say what's going on, and particularly this can probably apply to you as well because it's your card, but in the general zeitgeist, can I even say that? I think patience is wearing thin. People are up to the back teeth right now. But what sucks is there's nothing they can do about it.
Yep.
So even if you are as frustrated as the bejeebers, there's nothing you can do about for releasing that frustration. So in this instance, the perfect antidote to this is divine acceptance. And having the wisdom to realize there are certain things that you can affect a change in, and there are certain things that you are powerless to do anything about. So rather than concern yourself with things that you cannot possibly change, even if they frustrate the bejeebers out of you, your frustration is something you can do something about, by allowing yourself just the pressure off. Get yourself a lovely cup of tea or coffee and a couple of ginger snaps and just feel a beautiful autumnal morning on your bones or something. And, just listen to the birds and really listen to what the birds are saying. And just learn to be still and calm and quiet. And don't allow this frenetic nonsense. I mean, try, if at all possible, to not even turn your TV on, okay? Because wherever you look, there's something is going to be, he said, she said, this is no good, they did that, they're all trying to kill one another, they're dropping bombs here, the pandemic's out of control, we're all doomed, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, a lot of people want their heads bashed together, but you can't bash the world's head together. That's not your gig, that's not your remit. And what's coming off worse from this is you. And it's upsetting you, and it's unsettling you, and it's buggering you up. So you need to just learn to be calm and collected and just learn to breathe. Spend some time on your breathing.
There's a crazy fly.
A crazy fly.
It's landed on the screen. That's what I was, all right. So next I have Michelle for general reading.
God, we got a lot of people doing this. So listen, we're probably running out of slots.
We have one slot.
We have one slot left.
That's Savannah, right?
So Savannah, well, Stevie was before her. If you've not got.
Oh, Stevie, I didn't get Stevie.
Stevie, yeah.
All right, that's the last one.
All right. So at this moment in time, then we've allocated every single slot. Yep. However, there is a way, if you were desperate to get a reading, by bouncing somebody else. How fun is that? So we're doing this to try and raise money for Celtica. It doesn't go to us. So if you would really, really feel like it, if you can assist us in any way, check us what you can by way of a super chat. It really doesn't matter what, anything. Couple of bucks, $200,
right,
whatever you want. It's all good.
We are full at this point.
We are full. We've got our allocation of 40 people. So we'll work our way through. But if anybody super chats, we'll be bouncing people now.
Anybody after Stevie, Savannah, Holly, and S.J. George.
Next time, unless you want to throw us a super chat. So yeah, there's
Santa,
a limit to how much we can do.
Yes, you are on the list. You have 4 more to go.
My phone keeps telling me our internet's dodgy, so
all right,
I hope we stay up.
This is Michelle who wanted a general reading. Another sword. There's a theme here of swords tonight.
Swords tonight. It's definitely
all right.
Swords, isn't
I'm going to say, Michelle, you may feel like you're backed up against the wall and you may not see the way forward, but when you look closely at this card, there are no swords in front of this person, and the water is trying to show you a path. So the answer to your issue is right in front of you. You just haven't been able to see it because you've been so worried about the things behind you. So use what's behind you and what's in the past for information and energy to move forward, and don't let yourself be stuck.
Is there a fly crawling on
the camera? There is. All right. So you're up next.
I just seen this monstrous thing crawl over the screen. I thought, what the hell's going on here?
Say happy birthday to my friend Nicker.
Hello, Nicker. Happy
Hello,
birthday.
Nicker,
We
happy
can do
birthday.
that. We
All
can't
right.
give you a reading, unfortunately.
SA would like to know what MS is feeling. SA wants to know what MS is feeling.
Well, let's have a look and see what we can possibly say. Oh, hey, this is interesting. So, I don't know. This is a Libran card to me, quite purely there. The Justice card is very much about trying to balance things out, trying to weigh things up. If this person, MS, happens to be a Libran, there can be a difficult call sometimes. They're eager to try and make people happy, but by the same token, they sometimes have difficulty in truly expressing themselves, which is odd because they're an air sign. But I think they like double, what do you call it? They weigh things up, they balance things up. So there's this element of trying to weigh you up right now. I think is what's going on here. Size you up.
Maybe
what
a
are
little
you for? Maybe what are you made of? You really good stuff. So there is definitely some analysis of you going on at this moment in time. So that's probably why they're not being very forthcoming, and you feel like, well, where the hell do I stand with this person? Because they don't know where they stand with you right now. And so they're kind of working on that. They're trying to really think, Gemini, well, there you go. You're never alone with a Gemini. There's two of them. So yeah, Gemini air sign also. So we've got that. Yeah, so Geminis are maybe a little more talkative. They're a little more flirtatious, but they're damn shrewd characters.
I
they really
feel there's
do.
a judging going on.
There really is. There's some like, I'm just working you out, mate. I'm just, what's going on here? I'm trying to figure you out, trying to make this all make sense or whatever. So, just be you is the thing I would say. Just be you and try to be, what you expect. Don't be, distrusting from the get-go. Don't be like, oh, what are you looking at? Can I read all your personal email and all that sort of stuff? Geminis don't like to be smothered. I warn you about that as well. So just be not quite as bad as Sagittarius, but they really don't like to be smothered. So be very okay and happy, but they're sniffing at you right now. They're definitely weighing you up. Definitely.
All right, Nessa says Geminis are awesome people. That's why she can't make a decision.
Yeah, well, that's why, because Nessa's a bloody Gemini, right.
Now, Latoya was on your list, and she wanted to know about her and CC.
Okay, well, you've written it down, so I'm going to have to scroll back 4 miles to find it.
Fives.
Fives again, eh?
So fives are struggle, and fives want to suppress something. Mm-hmm. So I think this relationship is going to be difficult because there's such different points of view, right? So you may have very different political point of view. You might have very different idea of what a committed relationship means. One might be a vegetarian and the other likes to eat steak. So I think that it can work, but I think that there's some things you have to agree to disagree about. Like neither of you can change the other person or what the other person believes in or thinks. But I do think there are some real interesting things here, like difference of religion, different way eating habits, different living arrangements. The two of you are very, very different. That doesn't mean that opposites can't attract. They certainly can.
Case in point, we have so many points of opposition.
But you really need to agree not to bother the other person about their religion or their eating habits we
ain't quite that bad.
All right.
But no, we definitely have a few points.
Sanda, it's your turn.
Yay! What's Sanda want?
I don't think she asked a question.
Let's see if we can give you world peace because you got the world card.
Sanda, I'm looking back.
I don't know. Is she online? She might be
No,
online.
she's here.
Okay, I don't know.
She was they've been waiting patiently.
Well,
there's
that's
a
what
fly
happened.
on the thing. Look.
It's Sanda or Sanya?
No, Sanda.
Okay, well, you
no
got
question.
that.
Sanda.
All right. Well, it's interesting I say world peace because many a true word spoken in jest there. I think somehow you are looking for things to be a lot better in the world, and aren't we all, truthfully? But again, this is kind of interesting because this card is the culmination of the Fool's Journey, the world. However, it is not the end. It is just merely the completion of a cycle. That bloody fly is wandering across the lens. I don't know what... So we've got a fly decided to burst in on our readings today. So this is, this is the person that once was between those two pillars of severity and mercy, but has now actually harnessed those two, if you will, opposing forces, and has become themselves the resolution of the opposition. That magical tripartite thing, that completing triangle, that triangle of manifestation. Also around her, or them, is the name of God in the heavens, just like diametrically opposed. It's there on the wheel as well, on the wheel of fortune. But this time the open books are no longer there. The story has been told. It has been completed. But it's merely the end of a chapter. And so begins the next chapter. So what you need to do at this point is take all that you have learned thus far, and you have learned much, all that you have learned thus far, and apply it to, as the needle returns to the start of the song and we sing along as before, only this time bring with it the knowledge that you've acquired from the last turn of the wheel. And I think there is much you can teach others here. Much.
Melanie says, thank you. The last bits of a challenging circumstance have been flickering, and I do not want it to be over already, but it's completely out of my hands. Breathing. All right. So Lava Spark was one of yours.
Yes.
Message retracted.
Oh, well, whatever that is then. So you're just going to get a card. If you're still watching us, maybe Lava's buggered off somewhere.
I don't know.
Lava
Spark. 2 of swords. More swords. Tonight's really about challenges.
Yes,
anytime we see a moon on a card, we know the person is starting a new phase. So Lava Spark, it's time to make a decision and get moving. Sometimes we get stuck because we don't know which direction to go. And this card is kind of saying you can't be still anymore. If you choose A, you'll be happy. If you choose B, you'll be happy. But if you don't choose soon, you'll lose both opportunities. So it's time to make a decision and get moving.
Yes, in the words of Yoda, choose you must.
All right.
Choose
you
must.
are on to Sue M. General.
All right, so guys, just before, because there's a lot of people chiming in asking for readings, at this point we've allocated all of the slots.
Stevie is the last person.
Stevie is the last person who's up there somewhere. We'll find him in a bit. I don't know where they were. They're back there.
Stevie. So
right. So
Savannah,
if you're after Stevie in the tube of you or whatever.
S.J. George, Isabel, Gamer, we're full tonight. The
We're
only
full
way
tonight.
you're going to get a reading is a super chat at this point, because we already have 40 people.
So we will do your reading if you do a super chat, and you're going to jump in front of somebody else as well at this stage.
But we'll still do the
We'll still do yours, because we're like that. We're good.
Sue M.
Sue M, question?
Nope.
Devil card, second time tonight. Again, this card much maligned, but I think really the summary is that your fears are weighing too heavily on you at this present moment in time. I feel it's a very similar sort of thing, but fear is a really useful bloody thing if you think about it.
It can really be a motivator.
Yeah, it's what keeps us alive. It's out there 24/7 looking after our sorry asses, and will prepare us to engage a threat or get the hell out of there. So fear is a good thing. It keeps us alive. But it's when you repress something, when you try to shut it down all the time, when you won't let it have its voice and you don't honor it, it becomes like the disenfranchised employee, and it winds up, anything to be noticed. It's got to be heard, we all need a voice. And so it starts yelling when it's not supposed to be yelling and tipping coffee into the bloody photocopier, which is not what we want to do. But any attention is better than no attention. So maybe you need to do a little bit of work here, a bit of shadow work, a little bit of internal, getting to know yourself a lot better, right? Getting to know your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, what makes you truly tick. What does make your skin crawl? What does upset you deeply? Recognize that, learn where it comes from, and understand yourself better. And I think, therefore, that knot of anxiety that sometimes you can feel it spinning out of control. And even then, it's like, oh, my God, I'm having this again. And you get so upset with yourself over having that. And I think you just got to lighten up a little bit. Try to understand yourself a little better. Spend some time doing some soul searching work, some personal development work. Learn to meditate. Just learn to breathe. That can help with anxiety so much. And I think this is going to really transform you and allow you to move from a place of fear and difficulty and just simply lift that chain off and step into the light and claim your place under the sun. That's my 2 cents.
All right. Jessica, I'm sorry we're full for tonight. We only do 40 readings when we do our give back. So we already have 40 people on the list, and we're almost finished with our session. So same to Michael. Sorry. All right. This is for Aya, Aya.
Yeah.
And she'd like to know the Gemini's intentions.
That's a tough call, isn't it?
The Ten of Cups is the promise of a great relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So the Gemini is definitely interested and wants you to make a promise to them. So I do think that they are going to be talking about being serious. But what you do have to understand is sometimes it's really hard to understand what a Gemini's thoughts of serious are.
It can be tricky.
They're
Bless them.
The dual air sign. So sometimes they say things without thinking about it. And sometimes we don't really hear them for what they're really saying. So it's very tricky to be in a deep relationship with a Gemini, and they're very flirtatious, and you have to trust them. So I believe their intentions are to be in a long-term relationship with you.
If you want to sum up Gemini, was it Billy Joel? She's always a woman to me. Is that it? She can wound and cut you and laugh while you're bleeding kind of thing. Yeah. There's very much they've got this they can be alluring but very frustrating creatures without doubt. And they never give out, never give in, but they just simply change their mind. And they do that repeatedly.
There's 2 of them in there.
Yeah. But that's a bloody good card, that. So don't assuming you want the same thing, 2.4 kids, Ford Cortina, house on the hill, that sort of thing.
So I'm looking back because we've got Dorothy, but I think
she's on mine, I think. Yeah. I saw her, Dorothy. Dorothy Collins, General, please. Hi.
General. Okay, that's
all right. Well, we'll call you General Dorothy then.
You said we had no generals.
No, we're out of generals. Hey, okay, so this is the Moon card. This is an interesting card. I love this. So this... When everybody's making a hell of a row, because what's going on here is everybody's come, even the bloody lobsters come out of the water. They're all like baying at the moon and what have you. But everything louder than everything else doesn't work. And if you've ever noticed when people get involved in an argument, sometimes, and quite often to be honest, they're just waiting to push in what they're trying to say. They're waiting for that break. They're not actually listening to what the other person's saying. They may be in complete bloody agreement with them, but they're so intent on making their point, they've stopped listening to what everybody else is saying. And I think this is where it's necessary, rather than you getting embroiled in this argument, getting embroiled in these communication difficulties, be quiet. Speak very softly and very purposefully. And not, raise it. Bring the temperature down. And I think we're going to learn, because these 2 towers, these represent bastions of thought, These could be the pillars on the tree of life. But notice they're vacated. They have no roof anymore. You can see the sky through the window. So it's almost like holding on to a principle simply because it's a principle. It's not necessarily reasoned. It's maybe conditioned behavior. So I think for you, conflict resolution is something that you have the propensity to do, and it's necessary for you to do that. And just lower the tone, lower your voice, be quiet, bring the temperature down a little bit. And I think, understand also the moon is your emotions. And when emotions get involved, it can be, hard work. It really can. People can get so hung up on something emotionally, it's difficult to think clearly, And that is the case, especially when something really grates you emotionally. It's difficult. So Understand that, cold-hearted orb that rules the night, removes the colours from our sight, etc., etc. So, yeah, work on your conflict resolution there. So if anybody's joining us now, because I see a lot of other people, we're almost to the end of our session.
Right,
we're going
to
work till about 7. We try to do like 40 readings. We've allocated every single one of those. So if you're asking for a reading now, it's going to be next time that we do this. We can't do this for you tonight.
But what I would say is there is a reason that you showed up. So if you have the opportunity to go back and listen to all of the readings,
yes,
there's probably some wonderful information in there to help you with whatever your question is.
Oh, there's definitely a theme that flows through the evening.
Yeah.
And we've seen an awful lot of swords. There's been a lot of repeated cards come up this evening.
A lot of stress.
There's definitely, I think there's, whoops, did we just put the candle out? The zeitgeist, I think, this evening is stress and angst and frustration. And that's understandable. It really is. So, guys, if you did want to, if you're really desperate for a reading, we will do your reading, providing you throw us a super chat at this point, because we are trying to do this.
Well, they can't do that on Facebook.
Well, you can't do that on Facebook. So pop over onto the Tube Review, and you can do that there. But we're trying to raise money for Celtica. So although the readings are free, once they absolutely are, we don't charge anybody. If you want to throw us a donation towards that, thank you so very, very much. We will take that with great pleasure and thank you. And these take so much mental energy. You two are great. We grate on people there, and I think that's what.
Well, that's why we try to do no more than 40 because that is a lot.
The head melts after
Shine. This is for Shine.
Oh yeah.
This is all about getting the truth and the facts. It's the King of Cups.
Yes.
So try not to get over emotional, and try not to get caught up in things that are untruths. Right? So this is information coming from a person who likes to make a great first impression.
Yeah.
But what they're telling you may not be the truth. They may have embellished just some things to kind of gain your attention or to gain your trust. So I think you'll know who it is when you start to hear them. They're a person who's always great at one-upmanship. It's, their stuff's always bigger, better, faster, stronger, whatever.
Just because they vehemently believe it doesn't mean it's true.
Right. So be cautious and make sure that you have the facts before you believe what somebody's telling you.
Yeah.
Especially if they're boastful.
Yeah, don't take it at first value.
You have Stevie.
Just because they believe it certainly doesn't mean it's true. They may be utterly convinced, but yeah. Or they may tell a wonderful story and all that sort of stuff. So where are we going here? Second time this came out. Hello, Stevie. Did Stevie have a question? I don't know. I see people saying nice things about me. I'm not accustomed to people saying nice things about me. Where are you, Stevie? Let me see. I thought I saw you. Oh, you're just a card. All right. Well, this is you then. So, Stevie, I love this. It's the second time I've got this, and I don't know if you were around earlier when I was speaking about this card, but wherever I see 3 pyramids on a card, it's part of my own personal code book. There's 3 cards in the deck that have it, curiously enough, with 3 pyramids. But this is part and parcel of my little code book. Where I know that I'm dealing with an old soul. So we're talking about you, old soul here, Stevie, my friend. So for you, maybe a little bit of rise above all this crap that's going on right now. Start to realize that you have great wisdom. You know stuff. You don't know why you know stuff, but you know it. And that's a wonderful thing. So start to really trust your innate wisdom. It's many turns of a life here that have brought that there. So really start to spend a little time on listening to your inner voice, particularly. And especially where it comes to being inspired. Because this is a great card about inspiring others and moving forwards. And a lot of that, that feather in your cap signifies a great deal of acquired experience and knowledge which is there. And necessarily, or not necessarily within this lifetime, it could well be before that too. So for you, this is very much about, rise above it, go within, don't become a recluse. I'm not saying, shut yourself off from the world. I'm saying listen to your innate wisdom, that sort of like inner voice, for want of a better word, that will guide you. And I think this is a great time for you to really, embark upon a creative project, or one that brings or inspires others. I think it's a really good calling for you at this juncture. So hopefully that makes sense to you.
All right.
And is that us? Because we're about out of time at this juncture in time.
What I'm going to say now is very interesting. I'm going to say that whoever didn't get to ask a question,
Yes.
I'm going to pull one card and tell you the meaning, and you apply it to your question.
Oh.
This is the 9 of Cups. It's completion of a wish.
Mm-hmm.
Something that you've put time and effort and energy into is coming to fruition. So if you didn't get a card tonight, you can have this card as your card.
Oh, Stevie, you're very, very welcome.
All right.
You.
Thank you all very much.
Yeah, no, we
do
totally,
this the third Wednesday of the month.
We do,
but
we totally
40
appreciate
is
that.
a good number.
And we start to, sort of dribble little bits of blood out of our ears eventually at the end of the evening.
No, but
so
it's about all the time that we really have, because we do have kind of a crazy schedule.
We do. But we absolutely love doing this. So thank you so much, everybody, for the wonderful words and kindness. Thank you for those of you that threw us a super chat. Or
and
donated
for those
at
who are
Celtica.
donating to Celtica.
That's
on the
beautiful
Celtic
at Celtica.org. Thank you so very, very much. Appreciate that greatly.
Stay safe and dry, because
stay safe and dry, because I think I'm hoping I think we mostly stayed up. There might have been a flicker here or there, but it does look like there's a bit of weather coming in. I'm getting that sort of pressure change, headachy thing going on, and it's gotten kind of dark, so we might be getting a bit of weather. So stay safe and dry. Do please like, comment, and subscribe. Please do share this video.
Yeah,
let your
maybe
friends
it'll
know
talk to someone.
about
Whoever
us.
sees it is meant to see it. So.
Yeah, and if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do that. Please hit the notify button. Lisa and I do a morning show called Elevensies on Monday through Friday. It's live. You can join us for that, but you can always catch it up. It's all there on our channel to see that. And we cover all sorts of interesting stuff. So thank you so much for joining us. We're humbled and grateful for all of you guys and the wonderful words that everybody said. Thank you so much for...
Peace.
There you go. Gilda got that
be.
card too. So there you go. That's perfect. You did, didn't you? That was, in fact, Gilda was our first reading.
No.
Second?
She was your first reading.
My first reading.
I had Erin first.
Second time. So there you go.
So,
all right, perfect.
Be well, everybody. Take care.
Yeah, thank you so very, very much. We're gonna call it a night because our heads are falling off. So do please like, comment, and subscribe. Be well, be blessed,